Hello, welcome to the Learning Tree Book Club's regular monthly meetings for 2024. We always meet together for an hour and a half on the first Saturday of every month, and I'm Meredith Coleman McGee, your host, and I've been a member of the Learning Tree Book Club since 2018. Vic,
Hello, I'm Vicki Jenkins, and I'm a member of the Learn Tree Book Club. And I've been a host with the book club since 2018 at the beginning of the book club. Also, too, we're welcome, and thank you for joining us.
okay, you want to start first, Victor?
Okay, first of all, I wish everyone Happy New Year and hope everyone is beginning that new year with happy and well and hope to have a good uh, beginning. I am continuing with from last year. I started with No More Flinching 5 Steps to Overcoming Adversity. And we're going to continue with this today. And we're saying that on the book, it says, Back to the House. Doom and gloom took over again, as if the keys to the gates of hell had come recovered. We had to return to the owner. How did we get back here? Who was in control of our fate? How did we have to, why did this have to happen? Why would the judge send us back? Too many unanswered questions. One fact resonated. I should have known that having a normal life was too good to be true. I should have known that it would not last. It was just a matter of time before something bad would have happened, as it always did. That's what I got for daring to even think positive. He was light-skinned, stood at least 6 feet tall, thick build and fist the size of Popeyes after eating spinach. His knuckles protruded from the hands, making his blows intolerable. After so many, I looked forward to the punches because I would rather have those than a whipping, if that was what we wanted to call it. The only feeling I ever felt around him was fear, and fear of getting hit or beat. My brother and I would get hit for anything. And by hit, I don't mean a pop on the arm, shoulder, back, or leg. I mean literally punched in the face or on the head. The words, bring your head here, means run to him. And by run, you better get there fast, or your head was in position where he could punch you. Sometimes punches were more than one or two. I got punched in the face for anything, not moving fast enough to bring him a sandwich, or taking too long to make the sandwich. Making any simple mistake would cause him to hit me. He never got tired of punching us in the face. Surprisingly, he only did the oldest 2 children that way. I was one of the most picked on kids at school. Since I was forced to comb my own hair, I went to school looking worse than a hot mess. At the top of the school year, I had enough clothes to make it from Monday through Wednesday. By Tuesday, I was re-wearing the shirt I was re-wearing the shirt that I wore Monday while in the same black pants I wore Tuesday for the rest of the year. I did not have any deodorant. I would make the whole class unbearable. One classmate even made up a hideous song about me. Charlotte's moving in. You better move out. The funk is kicking strong, and it's going to knock you out. Some things you never forget. School was a place I hated to go, but I was happy to be away from the house. One day, my teacher escorted me to the bathroom, not understanding why initially. She found some bar soap and wet a few of those hard brown paper towels in the sink. She handed me the wet paper towels to wash under my arms. I still didn't have any deodorant, but the wash up cut some of the odor. I hated school. It was a place I judged and scorned. It didn't matter to those kids that I was a product of my parents. Kids bullied me as if I made myself that way. I wanted new clothes. I wanted new shoes that fit, and more than one pair. I had long hair, more than one pair. I had long hair. Desired to go to the school with the best hairstyle of my era, but I had to settle for two puffed ponytails. I was slightly pinned to the back of with my barrettes. I never got middle part of the middle part of the straight hair in the back of my head. I had no one to assist me or show me they cared for me well-being and appearance. I had one friend who wore thick glasses. She lived a few blocks away from in the Magnolia Apartments. I would visit her often when I could go outside to play, and she would visit me. Since adulthood, I've never been able to locate her. The most dreadful school day of all was the day the report cards went out. It was Junior's favorite day because, of course, he was always on the honor roll. I, on the other hand, not so much, not even close. I know how Dad felt about grades. He would force me to stay up all hours, even on school nights. I went to bed at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning after massaging his neck, foot, back, or hands. And after I was and if it was not done right, I didn't put enough pressure and strength into the massage, hitting the points that he wanted to have, that he would say those 4 words. Bring your head here. I hated whenever I was relaxing on the sofa and he would wiggle his foot or hand or point to his neck, which meant to get through massaging. Sometimes I would have rather died than to take those few steps across the room. To touch him, I had to be perfect, or his fist was going to hit upside my head. The walks Junior and I had to take to the bus stop were long. It would take 15 to 20 minutes to make a 2-minute walk down the street to our bus stop. We dragged our feet, kicked the rocks, traveling, having our best conversation as siblings on those walks. One day, I begged him to slow down. We even made a quick walk slower than a snail's pace. But I need to walk even slower, as if that would help anything. Report card day had arrived, and there was no hiding anything from Dad. On that day, we made a 2-minute walk go to 45 minutes. My heart raced. The world was over for me. But I had to keep walking towards the house regardless. My brother feared for me, but we both knew that what was coming. However, he still wore a hint of a smile because he knew he would get praised. As soon as we crossed the threshold of the door, it seemed though my brother flashed a report card to my dad before I could blink. The joys of having a little brother. Dad did exactly what I knew he would. He would on and on about how smart Junior was, and Junior effortlessly, Junior did not have to study. We did not get much homework back then, but my oldest brother would listen to the teacher explain what would be on the test and pass it in flying colors. After hearing it once, Dad detected something was up because it took me too long to find my report card. I had to reach down in my backpack, find it, unfold it, then pass it to him. As I was going through the motions, scared as ever, he rushed me to hurry up. I had my report card in his hand. Here it comes. You have all D's and F's and 1A in art, he yelled. You are stupid. Bring your head here. He continued shouting over me, telling me how I was dumb, nothing, and so on for quite a while. I became accustomed to getting hit in my face. I was used to it. I would flinch before the punch would hit me. I would flinch before the punch landed, or bracing myself for getting ready for the pain. I wasn't Daddy's little girl. I was Daddy's punching bag. Daddy's little stupid dumb child who would grow up to be nothing. Of all the times we would come to visit, one of my friends chose a report card day. She knocked, Dad encouraging me to answer the door. Dad replied angrily, what do you want? She asking if I could come outside. No, tell her you can't go outside. Tell her why you could not come outside. In a mumbling, soft-spoken voice, I said, I can't come outside because I have D's and F's on my report card. Dad then told me to get on my knees. I had no idea what was about to happen or where this was leading. Get on my knees now. I'm confused. What am I going? What am I going? What am I doing? Nevertheless, I did exactly what he said. I looked through the gray, dusty screen door. The door was open with my best friend on the other side, watching and looking at me while Dad sat in the recliner. I was on all fours. And then all fours on the carpeted floor. Now, look at her and say, I'm dumb, Dad instructed. I looked at her and said, I'm dumb. Now say, I'm stupid, he shouted. I'm stupid. Now bark like a dog. I looked at him and then at her and barked like a dog. Humiliated, I broke out in tears. Not only was I crying, but so was my friend. Dad had me repeat vile, horrible things. I was so dumb, stupid, and would not be anything when I grew up. Over the years, I infiltrated with my DNA, became what I thought of myself. It set in. Each morning of my life felt like repeated loop. No matter how I had prayed or wished to wake up in a different life, I was stuck in the house, a white duplex house off Armadale Street in Jackson, Mississippi. Years later, that house was torn down. It should have never been built. Dad was like a genius. He was extremely smart. He spoke different languages. He had a major. He had a major discussion about any topic. He had major discussions about any topic. He was musically inclined. He played several instruments, whether it was string, percussion, keyboard, or piano. Not only could he play by ear, he could read sheet music as well. He had his own band, and a lot of local musicians knew him personally. He spent time with Keith Sweat, Ziggy Marley, two of whom I knew. At some point, that musician lifestyle took a toll on him, and he got involved with drugs. Drugs could have different effects on people. For Dad, whenever he smoked crack, it made him extremely paranoid. Ironically, whenever he was high, and those days he never said, bring your head here. He did not beat us or anything except run to the window, close them, pace through the house, ask us to check the window and the doors to see if the police was outside. Once we realized the cycle, we were happy when he was high. As children, all we knew was Daddy was being on drugs. equaled daddy not beating on us. Squeezing a soda can would puncture, squeezing a soda can, he punched holes in the middle with the pen. Then he gulped the pen, then he uses a gutted pen. He would place ashes on top of the can with the lighter and inhaled the smoke while the white rocks slowly disappeared. But other problems arose. When Christmas came around, Grandma and Grandpa would bring us gifts. Dad would pawn them in exchange for money to buy more drugs. Mom would buy groceries, shopping, and mom would go grocery shopping and drop the food off at the house. And she went to her second job. Looking back, she worked several jobs just to stay away from the house. She was hardly ever there. Dad would search the trash can for receipts inside the bags Mom threw away, just to return the food used the refund to buy more drugs. Numerous days passed where food was scarce. I ate raw macaroni noodles because we had no pots to cook in. I used to be so hungry, I would chew on my thumb with my back teeth until it tasted like potatoes in my mind. I chewed on my thumb, not knowing I was interfering with the growth of and the form of and I was interfering with the growth and form my teeth. There was a habit of mine, quite sometimes because my teeth were crooked, and smiled only with my lips closed. I was shy, withdrawn, and very quiet. But thank God for braces. Between classes, I did not know what I was thinking or what I was to come over. Between classes, I did not know what I was thinking or what came over me. I was around age 11. I believed that they dreamed a little too hard. And when I came back to reality, I was passing my home phone number to my home phone number to the male classmate named Thaddeus. Thad was light-skinned, but built like a football player. And he had a bubbly personality. It was as if he saw me as a different person, not like someone to pick on. I believe that's why I lost my mind for a split second. I gave him my house number. I didn't know that I was trying to be cool, if I was trying to be cool or what. But I did give him I did give the number to him without hesitation. As I walked away, something kept tugging me to go back and get the number from him. But I didn't. The decision would cost me heavily. My brother and I took our slow walk to the house as usual. And when we got inside, we discovered it would not be happy because Dad wasn't on what he called a dope. Whenever he was on dope, we were happy. I sat in Indian style on the floor across from the table watching television. We didn't have much furniture, but I was comfortable. The phone rang. Dad picked up. Hello, you want to speak to who? Carlotta? Here she is. Dad passed the phone to me. I grabbed it out of his hand as I avoided eye contact with him. Hello? I managed to speak. Then, without care in the world, questioned, can we talk? I can't talk right now, I responded gently. The instant the phone was placed back on the hook, Dad punched me so hard in my face that I flew onto the floor. That blow stopped my eardrum. He stood from the seat, hovered over me, punched me with both fists, calling me a whore, calling me a whore. He told me I wasn't going to be anything but a dick sucker when I grew up. He kicked me in my stomach, stomping me like I was in a street fight. The pain was unbearable. I am his little girl. Did you say something?
Yeah, when you get to a breaking point, I'm gonna read some.
Okay.
Be careful with the language.
Okay. I know. I am his little girl and treated like I kept fathom anything I would make a father would do that to his little daughter, to his 11-year-old daughter. Okay, I can stop right there.
Okay. I'm gonna read this is my 13th book to come out next week. Billie Holiday Jazz Singer. I'm gonna read a little of the introduction. Well, I guess the introduction will tell who she is. She was a famous jazz singer who died 64 years ago, but her music still plays around the world, and she's had a great influence on music, not just jazz, because jazz has influenced all music genres. Chapter 1, Eleanor, because Billie Holiday was born Eleanor. Today, Billie Holiday is one of the most celebrated female jazz artists. Columbia Records producer John Hammond discovered 18-year-old Billie Holiday in Harlem in 1933. He declared Holiday was fresh and new. When John Hammond first laid his eyes on Billie Holiday at the end of Prohibition in a speakeasy in Harlem, she was singing without a microphone from table to table, same lyrics differently. John Hammond had never met a singer who improvised lyrics. He said, she sounded like an improvising horn player. Billie Holiday was the first Black woman whose image was featured in Life and in the New York Times. She was the first widely known Black female protest singer in America. She sang Strange Fruit 20 years before the civil rights movement took flight. She was a war on drugs suspect 20 years before President Richard Nixon launched a war on drugs aimed at arresting Vietnam protesters and Black militant groups like the Black Panthers. 4 white males: George Washington, first U.S. president, founding father; Thomas Jefferson, founding father; Theodore Roosevelt, 26th president; and Abraham Lincoln, 16th president, are memorialized face carvings on Mount Rushmore in Keystone, North Dakota. In contrast, imagine somewhere in the sky the faces of jazz gods: Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Billie Holiday, Lester Young, Art Tatum, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Wayne Shorter, and Ahmad Jamal joined the Cloud Collage in 2023. The jazz god's influence has touched the world. Jazz evolved from swing to bebop to cool and beyond. Jazz has many ancestors. Billie Holiday is a great jazz goddess. The incomparable Billie Holiday was born at 2:30 a.m. April 7, 1915, to Cyril Julia Paris, age 19, and Clarence Ernest Holiday, age 17, out of wedlock at Philadelphia General Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The hospital was formerly a poorhouse and served as a mental health facility at the onset of World War I. At the time of Eleanor's birth, Philadelphia General Hospital was the city's only public hospital. By the height of the Great Migration after World War II, the hospital was the primary medical center for Black people, particularly Black women. Sarah was the illegitimate daughter of Charles Fagan, a fair-skinned, middle-class Negro who lived in Sandtown, Winchester subdivision, known as Sandtown in West Baltimore, Maryland. Sarah unofficially adopted her father's surname and adjusted her first name and went by Sadie Fagan, giving herself a legitimacy she lacked in real time. Based on census records, Clarence was the son of Nelson Holiday and Mary Johnson Holiday, who married in 1895 in Baltimore, 3 years before Clarence's birth. Sandtown was known as Baltimore's Harlem during the city's jazz peak. Famous performers like Duke Ellington, Chick Webb, Louis Armstrong, Cab Calloway, and Diana Ross performed there through the 1960s. The assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in Memphis on April 4th, 1968, triggered rioting in Sandtown and over 100 other USA cities. Sandtown experienced economic depression following the 8 days of rioting. National Black figureheads were assassinated back to back. Medgar Evers, 1963, Malcolm X, 1965, Martin Luther King Jr., 1968, and Chairman Fred Hampton, 1969. Each loss killed the hope of rising for an entire people. Black people converted their rage into rioting. Therefore, other Black districts declined, couldn't win for losing. 47 years later, the negligent police custody death of Freddie Gray in 2015 sparked riots, business disruptions, business destruction, and more economic depression. The old Black entertainment and business districts in West Baltimore have been replaced with economic inactivity and community plight. Sandtown's unemployment rate for residents ages 16 to 64 is double the rate in other communities. Poverty and crime became close cousins. Before Eleanor's birth, Sadie moved in with her father and stepmother, Martha, were devout Catholics. Sadie attended Mass and followed the rules until she engaged in a brief affair with Clarence, whom she met after he performed at a musical gig at a carnival in Baltimore. Though only 16, Clarence was immersed in the nightlife, playing the banjo for tips and earning 50 cents per gig. Clarence started entertaining small audiences in Baltimore when he was 14 years old. He and his childhood friend, Elmer Sheldon, played with jazz bands in Baltimore before their musical talents garnered them national notoriety. Sadie was a good girl who went to school, mass, and to social events. However, good Catholic girls were not supposed to fornicate with boys. When Sadie revealed she was pregnant, Martha obtained consent from Charles and initiated getting Sadie, who was pregnant with a musical gift to the world, kicked out of the house, bringing shame to the family. Interestingly, Sadie was illegitimate too. She was living, breathing proof of Charles' immoral discretions with Sadie's mother, Susie Harris. As the Jamaican proverb noted, finger never say, look here, him say, look there. Sadie's fruit did not fall far from her mother, Susie's tree. Susie was 19 years old and Charles was 26 when Sarah was conceived out of wedlock. After Sadie announced her pregnancy, Charles and his wife went one step further and banned Sadie and Eleanor from their home. However, Charles had a soft spot for his daughter and granddaughter. He played both ends of the stick, quietly gave Sadie money to show his daughter he cared while keeping peace at home by abiding by his wife's ban the simple child grandchild rule. 1930 census listed Maddie Fagan, a native of Virginia, as the second wife of Charles Fagan. Sadie traveled to Philadelphia and gave birth to her daughter and named her Eleanor. One source reported that her given name was spelled Eleanor, Elinore. Sadie returned to East Baltimore and she and her baby moved in with Sadie's maternal family. From time to time, Clarence looked up and Sadie and visited with she and his daughter. Sadie grew to love Clarence, but she could not persuade him to do right. Sadie walked to spots where Clarence was around town and tried to engage him to be a father to their only child. Eleanor spent part of her childhood in Pigtown, a slum district in Baltimore. Pigtown borders present day Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard on the east, Monroe Street on the west, Russell Street on the southern border, and Pratt Street to the north. Baseball icon Babe Ruth, who was around the age of Sadie and Clarence, grew up in a two-parent household in Pigtown. Eleanor was well acquainted with her grandfather Charles' side of the family. She often heard stories about her grandmother's former life as a slave in Virginia. Eleanor understood racism through her grandmother's experience and life itself. In 1920, Sadie, aged 24, and Eleanor, aged 4, lived with Sadie's sister, Eva Miller, aged 33, and her husband, Robert Miller, aged 43. The couple's young children, Charles, aged 3, and Dorothy, an infant, also lived in the house. Sadie was employed as an operator at a shirt factory. Millers had white and Italian neighbors. Several Italian neighbors were skilled laborers working as tailors and pressers at a clothing factory. One was a shoemaker, another worked at a macaroni factory. Baltimore had other industries, including an ammunition plant. Nearby brickyard employed many males. Clothing manufacturing was the number one industry in Maryland. Canning operations were the second largest industry. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, Vicky.
Okay.
Okay,
But I'm gonna pick back up.
okay.
Rosie Mary was her name. She finally got the courage to speak out. Carl, that's enough. Stop, please, Mama shouted. But he kept on. He stopped after a few more punches and kicks. He screamed, "Get out!" I wasted no time. I was already fully dressed. I dashed out the door ready to face the unknown world. I took a lot of pain from Dad, mentally and physically, not knowing how to get to my destination. I went to the nearest phone booth and dialed one number I knew by heart. Grandpa always said, "Call him if we need anything." I jumped off the porch, ran to Sprint, and ran away from that house like my life depended on it. I ran fast. Everything flashed before my eyes. I grew more and more excited with every stride. I was almost there. A few more steps, and I would have been back to life at my grandparents' prepared for me. Undeniably, I heard a voice, someone shouting with all of her might, a lady who never yelled, who never spoke up, who was speaking now. "Charlotte, come back." I was already deep into this curve. Just a little more. I would be on the other street, and I almost there, but out of eyesight. But I could, out of eyesight, I looked back, and it was her standing alone. One thing I could not do was to leave Mom. I walked back slowly, slower than I would on the report card day. Dad spoke no words. I entered the house. Mom got me to turn around, but that was it for me. That was the lowest of all lows. There was only one thing I could do to fix this. Since life would not provide me with a way out, it was time for me to take myself out. I went to the cabinet, grabbed the first bottle of pills my eyes came in contact with. I popped the top and dumped a handful of pills and took them all. I swallowed and waited. During the wait, I cried out to God. The conversation went like this: "God, why? Why is this happening to me? Please take me away from this. Take me away from here." I knew God had to hear me because now I would be close to seeing him. A bright light appeared in my immediate right. It was the size of a person. I knew it was an angel. I wasn't asleep. The angel spoke to me saying, everything would be all right. For the first time, I felt a peace come over me I had never felt before. Nothing happened to me from consuming the pills. I did not know the pills did not affect me. Maybe they weren't strong enough. God made a point. A voice told me, hold on a little longer. internally, I comprehended a little while longer. Internally, I comprehended a little while longer as when I turned 18. That was when I could legally be able to move out without being mandated to stay with my parents. They would have no choice. I could have to, and I could, and I would not have to worry about the police saying I was a runaway or all consequences to follow. I would be free finally. I was my parents' firstborn child. Dad wanted a son first and already had me named Carl until I was born a girl. He would always tell me he wanted me to be tough. So he taught me how to fight. If I put my setup, taught me how to fight, I had to put my set up in proper stance. I would have to put my setup in proper stance and hit him back. I liked hitting him back, part because I knew it was it. I knew it was him. He taught me how to swing, how to land my punches, how to shift my weight. He went over everything about fighting with me down to the last detail. His root was never his root was never hit a person first. His rule was never hit a person first. But if they hit once, turn the other cheek. If they hit you again, then light them up. I think I took those kung fu movies, I always watched seriously. Bruce Lee was his favorite. He would call upon his kids as they passed outside saying, "You can't beat my daughter fighting." I never understood that. Could they see that I wanted to be left alone? He would set up the fight for me like it was what I wanted. Yet here, I was scrawny and scared. The last thing I wanted to do was to fight other people. After getting hit a few times, it wasn't long before kids' punches felt lighter than mosquito bites. Junior knew I was strong. I watched my brother engaging in his first fist fight, and he got handled all along the fences. I wanted to jump in to help him, but Dad always said it was his fight, and I had fought several fights of my own. I was confident, even though I was scared. I witnessed my brother in other confrontations with young girls who got off on our bus stop to fight my brother. One day, brother screeched to me, "Get her, Carla, not because she's a girl," but he was afraid to fight. While she tried to get him, I interceded and said, "If you're trying to fight my brother, you have to go through me." Dad walked outside, witnessed the fight, and took a seat in the perfect spot where nothing blocked his view. I knew he enjoyed it. He walked around in personal space She hit my face. I I looked towards Dad, remembering his rule. First punch, let it slide. She hit me again, one on the other side of my face. I looked at Dad, who nodded, affirming to me to let it up. This way was too easy. I lost it and hit her head. I blocked all her swings, landing all of my punches in all the right places. She didn't want to give up, but she didn't want to lose. I let her walk away, but then turned with a long stick, and she tried to hit me with the newly fetched weapon. I managed to take the stick from her within a matter of seconds. My hands swooped in her scalp, grabbing her hair with all the tightest grip ever. Time slowed down as I blocked everything.
Vicky,
Huh?
Miriam and Solomon have joined us.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
How y'all doing? I think their screen is frozen.
Huh?
I think their screen was frozen, but you come to a stopping point when they get ready so we can let them read. Oh, they gonna have to come back on because they fell off. Their screen was frozen, so they probably had a bad connection.
Okay. I come to a
But
stopping point.
when they come back, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Vic.
Time slowed down. I blocked everything, slung, maintaining a good grip, ready to forcefully smash her head until the corner of my neighbor's concrete porch. Dad jumped up from his seat and saw what was about to happen next. With all of his might, he shouted, "No!" And at that moment, jail was waiting for me. How would I ever adapt to that lifestyle? Wasn't wasn't that where the dummies were and stupid people? God didn't fail me with that at that time either. I listened to my father and let her go. She never came back for more. How could a man who had bright side turn into a monster from day to day? Dad would get the whole family out of the house and go on runs. He loved going out to eat fast food restaurants, laughed often. His social skills were intact. Obviously, other adults, other adults thought he was a great father. I never felt safe with Dad, no matter what mood he was in, and knew what was happening or whether it would last. When Dad wanted to get out of the house, he would tell us, go to the YMCA. He never knew this, but I never went inside. I wasn't going inside and get talked about and laughed at. I had enough of that in school. My brother would go inside and I would wait outside. some days dad would never dad would never tell my brother and me not to come back until we had $20. Since I was the oldest, I had to come up with a way to get $20. I started raking I started a raking business, but all of the benefits went to dad. My brother and I raked yards and make as well over $20 and bring my father back every dollar. We didn't mind because when he took the money, he bought drugs. One afternoon, I walked into the neighborhood store. The older man had been watching me. He touched me in an awkward way, rubbing me on my shoulder, and tried to get me to follow him and leave the store. My brother made it home to tell dad. Before I knew it, dad found the guy and beat him so bad, I walked with a limp for years. And he walked with a limp for years. Dad came to my rescue like my hero. He baffled me on how it could be this way when it was someone else treating me badly, and yet he treated me horribly. How could the same man protect me or hurt me? One night, dad was out playing with his band. He had a gig, and that meant he would be out late. Mom was working on her second job, as usual. My brother, young and full of adventure, decided that he would fire me up, that he would fire up a cigarette inside the house. After lit the cigarette, he dropped it on the carpet and a fire started. Within seconds, the house was consumed with heavy smoke. We fought really hard to put the fire out, frantically stomping and fanning the smoke. The fire vanished. The smoke had thickened into the dark gray fog. The smoke wasn't going anywhere. Dad pulled up and it was the calm before the storm. He asked us over and over, who did this? Neither of us would say a word. Dad wouldn't get the answer out of us. He decided to beat it out of us. Before he got started, he stuffed the bottom of the doors and windows with bath towels. He stuffed the bottom of the doors and windows with bath towels. I knew it would be gruesome. He was making the house soundproof. He took a 2x4 piece of wood from one of the twin bunk beds frames and hit us hard. He punched us, grabbed a broomstick, popped us on the top of our heads with it. Felt like he broke my skull. My brother blurted, Carla did it. Lord, why? Dad turned toward me and went ballistic. I had to think fast. How could I prove it? I remembered our neighbor who we called Honey, saw Junior playing with the cigarettes. Honey gave my brother the lighter to light the cigarette. Dad managed to take the break from the beating of us and went across the street to ask Honey if what I said was the truth. Honey confirmed, and Dad went to another level of rage. He was so upset that my brother allowed me to get beaten for him. He tried to make me take my anger out on my brother. He pulled my brother in a corner and told me to hit him lightly, not wanting to hurt him, but wanting to look as if I was being obedient. Even though my brother lied on me, I could not hit him like that. Dad screamed in my ear, "I told you to hit him harder. I was going to get you, and hit harder than that." I started hitting my brother, beloved brother, harder and harder, as Dad instructed me to do. My brother cried and screamed for me to stop. How was this the life supposed to live? How was this life I was supposed to live? Dad got the iron and pressed it on my brother's head. He threw his hand into the kitchen. He threw his head into the kitchen counter. When my brother hurt, I felt. But the problem was, we must have been kidnapped. No dad would treat his real kids like that, and no mother would allow her kids to get beaten like this, to this extent. If I could just escape. Escaping was my dream. It was just what my brother did. As I climbed out the window the next night, he asked me to come with him. He climbed out the window the next night. He asked me to come with him. I couldn't. I knew the system would not do anything for us. They always took us out, but they always brought us back. Ironically, a police officer lived right next door to us. Bow Street. Dad got it in the habit and would profiting the house. Proofing the house with a muffle the screams. What a life. When Dad figured out that my brother ran away, he flipped out harder than I could ever imagine. He even yelled at Mom. It wasn't long before police brought my brother back to the house. Dad showed no mercy. The police would not help, and DHS didn't either. No matter how upset Dad would get, he never hit Mom. With the exception of never hit Mom, with the exception of him slapping her. When I was 5 years old, I never forget how he black-eyed peas that he had prepping for all over the floor. Dad shoved my mom into the wall. When she tried to speak up again about my brother running away, no one had a voice living in that house except Dad. When beating like this occurred, it meant weeks of missing school for both of us. We did not look suitable for class. We were already accustomed to applying the raw steak raw steak slices to our face and eyes and bruised body parts for them to heal quicker. But thankfully, DHS had their own special way of finding out what was going on with us in our parents' care. During the next visit, we were given dolls. During the next visit, we were given dolls. The one doll is at your dad. The other doll are you and Junior. I was told. When you show how your dad was acting with his dolls, we took the dolls and used the main doll that represented dad to beat the other dolls. We slapped, punched, yanked the dolls around, showing no care or love or concern. It wasn't long before we were back in another foster home.
Okay, I could read for a few minutes and then we'll stop it. Oh, you know the day Mama turned 85 today.
So what now?
I said I could read now and then we'll end the meeting, but today Mama turned 85 today. If you get a chance to call her.
Oh, okay, okay. I have to do that. Okay, I will.
Okay. Okay, so where I had stopped at, I'm just gonna read a couple of, let's see. Wait 1 second. Okay, let's see. Okay. Uh Eleanor's okay, chapter 1, Eleanor, Billie Holiday jazz singer, and this is a continuation from where page 6 of the first chapter, which is named her given name, birth name, Eleanor. Eleanor's family roots in Maryland predate the American Civil War. Charles Fagan's mother, Rebecca, born 1852, was also a Maryland native. Let me see if Marianne didn't want to be the last readers. I'm gonna finish this paragraph, then I'm gonna see. Rebecca, employed as a washerwoman, was listed in the 1870 census as a mulatto widow head of household. In 1880 census, Charles, age 11, that's Eleanor Fagan, Bill Holiday's grandfather, was age 11, and he was enrolled in school. He was listed as a mulatto too. 3 younger siblings were listed based on findings in later scenes of Blue. Eleanor's grandfather, Charles, was part Irish. His father immigrated from Ireland. Oh, Miriam, how you and Solomon doing?
We're good. We're good.
Wonderful. We're gonna let y'all read last because we're at the end of the meeting. Y'all can go ahead and read last.
Okay.
Okay. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got some good goals for 2024?
Yeah.
What's your goals for 2024?
I'm going to get good grades. I'm going to join one of the events at school. I'm going to try to help as much as I can for people too.
Oh, what's on your head?
Oh, it says reading rocks.
Oh, wow. I love it. Reading rocks. That is so true. I love a good book. What about you, Solomon?
So my New Year's resolution is like to get good grades, be healthy, work out more, drink like more protein, and eat healthy.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Yeah, I like you're eating healthy because I like to do that too. And I would like to I have some projects that I want to do at home. Like the other day, I painted the bathroom. I'm doing some things like that, and of course, I want to read more, but I want to travel and sell my books as well. Hmm.
Nice.
So anyway, those are very good goals. What about you, Vicky?
What my goals are?
Yeah,
I don't really I don't really have any definite goals. I just want to live and be lived. And
yeah, yeah. Live and be in peace and happy, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to lose a little weight, but that's all the time, every year. Nothing new.
I have no exactly definite goals, but I just want to live.
That's a good goal there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, y'all can tell us what you're reading.
Okay. So I have 5 New Year's poems,
Okay.
and I'll start. Okay.
You wrote them this year or last year?
This year.
Okay.
Happy New Year to you. May every great new day bring you sweet surprises, a happiness buffet. Happy New Year to you, and when the New Year's done, may the next year be even better, full of pleasure, joy, and fun.
Very good.
Thank you. The second one is called New Year's Blessings.
Okay, go ahead.
Here comes a brand new year, lots of things to explore, a clean blank slate to write on, fun happenings galore. To you we wish the best of things, all blessings a New Year's brings. Okay, the next one. A bright, shiny new year, empty, neat, pristine, waiting, ready for us to get it tight, right? Another chance to love and forgive, another chance to make a real effort to give more than we get, another chance to make a difference, a good new year. Happy New Year. Okay,
Okay.
next one.
That's the third one.
Yep, that's the third one.
Okay, you can read the other two.
Uh, New year, new goals, new things, new glee, new ideas, new friends, new thoughts, new me.
Very good.
This one's my favorite. It's finally 2024. What will the new year have in store? Have new things to try, new things to see, new chances to be the very best me. Bring on the heat. I'm ready to go. I can't wait for more. Bring on 2024.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, got a lot of bringing and rhyming.
Mhm. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Keep happy writing.
Thank you.
Okay, hey Charlamagne, what you got, girl?
I got some of my poems too.
You okay? Wow, you just writing, writing. How old are you now? 6.
I did 8.
You're 8. Oh Lord. Wow. When you started with us, you were 5, huh? Man, it's hard to keep up. Charlamagne is 8 years old. Second or third grade?
Third,
Third grade. Okay. Writing poetry and everything. Okay, what you got?
I got a poem for the New Year's. A new year has begun. January is the first is month number 1. This, this is the start of a whole year. There's nothing to fear. A new year for trying, not for sighing. What goals can you make for your own sake? For a better you, for a new year that is new.
Very good. You got another one?
I have two more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bells are ringing, people singing, New Year's here, New Year's here. Happy, happy New Year. Happy, happy New Year. Let's all cheer, New Year's here.
Very good. You got another one?
Yes, this is my last poem.
Okay.
Another clean new season is here. Another season to live. To reduce fear, question, and fear. To really like and have an excitement. Have an excitement as a good laugh and give. Happy New Year 2024, my beloved.
Very good. Very good. I'm gonna just read one of mine called Your Life Shine. And this is my book of poetry. It's a collection of my poems and other writings. Okay, so let your life shine. Let your light shine like the rising sun, like the dawn of fall, like the falling star, like the light from the moon at night when you're holding hands. Let your light shine like the glitter of gold, like the dawn of morning, like at night. The thrill is on is a song, but the thrill is real when the night is still, when the wind shakes the leaves on the trees, and the mind is set to please. When sweet melodies play a tune, and love is painted on your mind, and your face appears. Let your light shine so you can fly to the top of the skyline, past the clouds, toward the heaven up above, like a dove with white wings, bringing peace to the world. Let your light shine. Let's sail to Cancun. Let's sail real soon. I had to skip some sentences.
All
Anyway,
right.
what'd you say, Biggie?
All right now.
I hadn't read that poem in a long time. I didn't know what it was gonna be. Let's see. Okay, this is. I probably wrote this poem in the 1990s, maybe like 95 or something like that. What year was you born, Mary Ann?
2011.
Okay. This one is called The Grass is Green Sometimes. The grass is green where love reigns, where blood flows through the veins, where preachers teach the truth, where children blossom, where gloom is doomed, where despair is rare, where mama cooks wholesome meals, where a deal is fair, where granny is the nanny and the children learn at home what to do, how to do it, and what not to do, where the house is clean and daddy ain't mean like Kalada's daddy. Man, that's a hard story to read, Biggie. And mama is loving because she feels like a queen. And the children play fair because they're aware that bullying can get you cut up and brought down fast. Because constant teasing won't last. Because sooner or later the victim might. That's the end. Okay, you had something else you want to read, Miriam?
I can find something.
Okay.
Probably. I found one of my old poems
Okay.
called Open a Book.
Okay.
Open a book and you will find people and places of every kind. Open a book and you can be anything you want to be. Open a book and you can share wondrous words you find in there. Open a book and I will too. You read me and I'll read you.
Very good.
Mm.
Well, okay, Shalimar, you want to read something, and we're gonna close with your reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this year I wish for you light and love in all you do. Life, beauty is grace your eyes, lots of hugs and sunshine smiles. I wish you peace in heart and mind, the joy of fellow souls and wine and chat and fun. Our trips out to enjoying all you like to do. And when you're tired of having fun, that may that you may rest in comfort, hun. Beneath a roof, all safe and sound, contact with life own jewelry found.
Well, thank you for all those wishes. Yeah, that was fantastic. I love all you all concepts for 2024.
Mhm.
And may all of us have the best 2024. And we all have to remember, dreams do come true. Ain't that
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
That's right. We got to keep dreaming forever and make it
yes.
happen.
Right.
All right, then. Well,
Right
we'll see
now.
you all next month. Power to the reading. Bye bye.